Hello, guys. Welcome to the Vacay podcast. I'm Ryan Halford, your co-host, with my other man of the hour co-host, Chris Hansen. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Ready to talk some wellness. Some raw talk. That's what we're talking about here.
Just like our ingredients.
All natural, all the time.
That's right.
Yep. Except when the doctor actually gives me a prescription, right? And then it goes lab-based.
Right. Until it's your blood pressure. And then you're like, all right, I'll take that.
Yeah, I'm having a heart attack. All right, I need something. Give me some chemicals.
The beet chews aren't working. I need to give me the prescription stuff.
Exactly. We appreciate everybody coming along here. This is episode 3 of the Vacay podcast. We talk all things natural wellness, retreats, and getting away. And, at the end of the day, it's all about consistency in your wellness journey. And that's what we're here to talk about today is our wellness best practices and what it takes to kind of stick with things and just the importance of routine. And I think in life, everything's about repetition and routine, whether that's the good, the bad, and the ugly. But it's all about sticking with it to get through and to ultimately grow as a person. And I think that's what's been, part of the success of Chris and I is, those routines of wellness that, part of what kind of brought us to Vacay. But we'll bring that full circle. But Chris, I know it's important to you. No one has more supplements in the bag than you.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, though.
But it is important that you have a daily routine with your wellness journey because look, life's stressful. You got to take care of yourself. Numero uno. You can't get anything done. You can't do what and get where you want to ultimately if you don't have a way to take care of yourself. And I know that's important to you.
For sure. Well, they say health is wealth, which is one of those things I feel like as you're younger, you're like, yeah, whatever. But at this point, and I think at least for me, COVID was a big eye opener for my wellness journey, I would say. I mean, I've always been active to a degree, but supplements and whatnot in the vitamin world, I feel like that was something, we all started to take vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc, right? So it kind of opened the doors to my research, you could say, but yeah, I mean, and by no means am I some wellness coach expert here at all. I'm just, think of myself as a normal guy that's just trying to be better every day and perform better. So,
and I think that's the key with us, we're not, this isn't about scientists. This is real world. We both run businesses, we both do things but we're both passionate and have these routines. And so we want to make it approachable, attainable. Because at the end of the day, a fitness junkie or someone that's, devoted their entire life to this could sit here and talk about things. And I think sometimes it goes over people's heads or it feels intimidating. And I think what we want to do is, at least highlight some of the things and tricks or tips or things that you can do to kind of set yourself up for success with this. What are let's start with your weekly wellness, and we'll both kind of go down this path and talk about it. But what's your taking care of Chris week look like? What are those routines? What are those things for you that are part of the daily practice?
Yeah, for sure. Just to simplify, because as you know, and I know your schedule, it's nuts. My routine is so, I don't have set times for anything, but I have activities that I always do. So the gym is a non-negotiable for me. I need that in my life. So I say gym 5 times a week, whatever days that is, whatever times I can make it, that is. And then I would say sauna and the ice plunge is my second biggest, if not equal to the gym. That for me has given me the same satisfaction, I guess, the gym does. I think, so I try to do that also between 3 and 5 times, just depending where I'm at. And if there's a sauna available wherever I'm traveling to, which I try to, but besides that, I would say those are my 2 main activities that I stick to. Obviously try to get a massage here and there. I mean, especially if I'm traveling on the road, my back's all tweaked out. Doing some stretching, supplements, obviously, but it's this is all a learning curve for me to a degree. You know what I mean? Like I was always into fitness, but I wasn't, like you, like a college athlete or on sports teams in high school. Really, I played tennis and was on the crew team. It's, I wasn't, doing heavy weightlifting and stuff where more I'm into now. So even this for me is kind of, I don't want to say new, but you're always learning something new. I'm always trying to learn something new, get better at something. But now I think it's less, how do I look? And it's more, how do I feel? How am I operating? So that's my kind of, I would say at the most basic level without getting kind of too deep into it. That's my kind of thing. But
what, wouldn't it, I know you've always, a lot of guys, I think coming through the generations, I'm a little older than you, but like some amount of going to the gym is like standard practice, I think a little bit, but maybe what got you over the hump with making it, 5 out of 7 days? That's significant, but what were maybe, was it ultimately how it made you feel, but what maybe got you into the routine of fitness and, or, what you did in the gym?
Yeah. I really feel like I started hammering it kind of at the beginning of my professional career, like out of college, I'd say 2015. And I think multiple reasons. One, my, business partner, we were workout buddies, and just having that accountability he was a more into the gym than I was. So having, kind of someone to encourage me, that was definitely a portion of it. And I think that being a guy, I think that's something once you get out of, school, you don't have that camaraderie as much anymore, or that team kind of dynamic that I think a lot of us feed on. So kind of finding that, with my business partner, in his fitness journey, but then being in medical and working with doctors, honestly, and then obviously working with some more doctors that were more into men's health and athletics and stuff like that, where I just naturally became more intrigued by it. But I think a part of it is as my career started growing and probably my stress level, it became more important than ever, like what it did for me mentally and kind of giving me, I think, some clarity and calm. So, and at this point now, don't get me wrong, I like to look good, but it's really mental is where that's where I'm chasing the most, is that post gym dopamine rush kind of clarity where I feel like I'm cruising, I'm flowing, I'm in a good state. Even now where if I'm in a bad mood, that I know going to the gym as much as I don't want to, that's where, that discipline comes in of just, when this from business, you're a lot of running businesses doing shit you don't want to do all day. Don't get me wrong. Half of our days we do stuff we probably really enjoy, but there's still the other times we don't. But that's where, it's funny because that discipline in the gym translates over into business and work. It's like a compounding effect.
Yep.
So
I agree 100%. Yeah. What's interesting for me, and I don't, some people will listen to this and maybe relate and others won't, but I grew up with parents that went to the gym. It was, I was in my early impressionable years, late 80s, early 90s. And that's when the gym fitness thing in America started to go. And so my parents went. My dad ran 5 miles, 4 days a week. And so part of it, nature versus nurture, I saw my parents, and then at some point it flipped for me. I wouldn't say it was I was 16. I played basketball and you had natural, workouts and things you had to do. Right. But then in college, I immediately kind of got the bug of wanting to train, and I wasn't some Mr. Olympia by any means. I just was in shape, and ran or did weightlifting, all that. My sister did the same thing. It's weird. And I don't know if there's something in the Alfords that make you want to work out, but ironically, 2 of my 4 sons, the older 2, have started already kind of getting into this. And so I think there's something by the nature of maybe how we're wired that it's like instinctive in us. And I think it's also a product, you grow up around. If you grow up around unhealthy parents, you're probably unhealthy. If you grow up around healthy parents, you're probably, or at least prone to be. And so that isn't meant to be a crutch or a leg up, but I think that does have an impact. But then but for any one individual, I think the key with the fitness side and the gym side of wellness is just developing a routine. And it's funny to hear you say this. We're probably two of the people that are unique in this. I don't work out at the same time every day either because of the nature of my schedule. It's usually before 1 o'clock, but it might be at 6 a.m., 8 a.m., or 11 a.m., depending on the day. And I'm a 5-day-a-week guy, even if it's 20 minutes, But once you set aside that time and you feel what you feel from it, and it does as you get older become more mental than physical. I think, you get mental clarity when you break a sweat for in a consistent fashion. And you can go, mow the lawn and do things that exert energy, but there's something about the consistency of the gym factor. And the gym, and this could be inside the gym or hell, jogging, and, doing body weight things, but some consistency of physical fitness and working out, whether it's 20 minutes a day, whether it's an hour a day, once you start to develop that memory and that of what those are, you will see probably as much mental impact as you do physical, because it just does make you mentally feel better. And I think even now for me, it's more of that mental thing than physical, because I don't always have the time to put in that my physical body changes that much. Yes, I'm tall and generally in shape, but I'm not, ripped with a 6-pack, at all times. So it's but I mentally have strength from that as much as anything. And I think that will really pay off for people. But the key is just, you got to carve that time. You have to put yourself first, whether it's 20, 30, 40 minutes. It's the first step in any wellness is fitness.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I just think it's an essential of what we need to operate, in a healthy manner. I think that's a massive problem with, I don't want to say the population, but I think we just have a lot of people that we're all not doing enough movement. We're not moving our bodies. We're not moving our brain muscles. We're not doing anything. I mean, I agree with you 100%. Sweating is magic. Dude. It's
breaking that sweat.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right. I mean, like you said, I don't care if you're mowing the lawn. That's what I did as a kid. I mowed the lawn, middle of summertime in Florida. And that I felt good after, I'm sure you have the sense of accomplishing something, but same thing you get with the gym. And I was just thinking about when you were talking where you have to put yourself first. And what I did is I stopped looking at it this is, I have to go do this as punishment. No, dude, this is to your benefit. You should be excited. This is to help you. And now I just fast forward to that feeling after. And I also look at, okay, so I don't want to go. I feel it becomes easier and easier every day when you skip and skip and skip. It's almost I've always heard people compare it to putting deposits in the bank. You put a little in every day, a little in every day. And then if you do need a withdrawal, you've stacked up the days, whatever. Yeah. But it's all about, and it's with business, it's not about one massive breakthrough. It's winning those daily battles, every single day, just putting one foot in front of the other. And before you know it, you look back and you've made progress, whether it's gym, business, whatever it is. You
just hit on something really key. And I think for someone listening that might not have the routine, but wants to get into one, I think what people do naturally is they think that the gym has to be painful and unenjoyable. Right. And so when they first start out, they do one of two things. They listen to some guru and they go kill themselves and they get sore for 2 weeks and they never want to go back. Or they go put themselves through something that's unnecessarily too hard too soon. Or hell, for the first 2 weeks, find something that you like to do when you go, whether that's walk, whether that's jog, whether that's, you know, I actually like doing push-ups or sit-ups are fine, but I don't really want to do deadlifts just yet. Well, put the deadlifts off till month 4. You know, again, this is if you're, you know, sedentary, not doing much. I think there's too much of this culture of I've got to go make this the worst thing in my life and hate it for it to have impact on me. When that's not true, you can ease your way into it by doing some things that, and look, you need to exert yourself. I will say, if you don't break a sweat, then you aren't doing it hard enough, but you don't have to, again, not be able to get out of bed the next day.
Right. Oh, dude, I still do this where like literally last week I had to do legs and I was just not feeling it. Like I was like, but you know what? I was like, you know what? I won't do squats. I'll do leg extensions. So I'm still going to do a little bit of a work, but it was like you said, even if it's 20 minutes, and I have days like that where like, I'll literally be like, I'm going for 20 minutes or 15 minutes. I'll do 3 different exercises. Most of those times I end up staying a full hour or more, you know, like once you get in that rhythm, it kind of builds on it. But even if you just do, like you said, dude, there was points, you know, and if you haven't listened to our first episode, talk a little bit about my story, but when I first, you know, got sober, my body was tore up. Where at that point, like my exercise was literally just walking the dog, like just taking my dog on good long walks and just getting outside and moving. And that was like, you know, I did that for probably 2 months. Like just, that was my exercise. But you're right. You see the opposite extreme where I had a buddy that did this, and I've seen this a lot of my friends. They go from no exercise to all of a sudden they're signed up for a Tough Mudder or a triathlon, and then they go nuts. You know, usually they do it, they compete, and they're done after that.
Yeah, they're done. Yeah. And so, and look, I don't
that's awesome.
I'm also not like the participation trophy guy. Like if you want a 6-pack, you're eventually going to have to exert and get over that hump. I'm just talking about how you create a healthy routine and how you get into it is ease your way in. At a certain point, if you have aspirations, absolutely, you're going to have to start the pain game a little bit, but
for sure,
but you can get a lot of benefit out of a, 3-mile walk and 20 push-ups and 20 sit-ups to start.
Yeah.
You know, like just
swim laps in the pool. Yeah, literally.
Like start there and then work your way in instead of trying, because, you know, it's just funny. Like every trainer or whatever that I've ever worked with, like they feel like they have to make me like, you know, cry mercy the next day because I'm a big guy or whatever. And I do believe in having a trainer, by the way. I think a coach is a good thing, but you need to get the right one. And you need one. There's the balance of them knowing you and not overexerting you to hurt yourself, but versus they're just your counselor, you know, like I see those
like
all
still
the time.
Push you.
Yeah.
But
you want them to push
limits.
you. They need to push you because you do have to get outside your comfort zone again at some point. But I think the key to developing a pattern is 3-4 weeks in 20 to 40 minutes of something that you aren't just, again, creating, you know, soreness at work or things that are just always like reminding about how bad, you know, it's just human nature. We get reminded by, you know, again, I think you nailed it. Like people go, oh, I got to go to the gym or whatever, you know, like, and I'm exactly the same as you. I'm like, I get to go to the gym, like, you know, and my wife is the same way. She's like, you get to go to the gym. I'm like, yeah, I get to go to the gym.
And your wife knows that when you go to the gym, you're coming back and you're in a better mind frame.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, yeah, go.
She's both happy and mad because she knows it. She's like, I'm glad that he's in a better mood, but damn it, he's in a better mood. And I'm
and I'm still pissed off. Yeah. I know. 100%,
but I think that's the key. And I think any wellness journey kind of starts there. And then it's funny you mentioned, you know, I haven't gotten into the ice baths thing. I know that's huge. And I do, but the sauna for me is when maybe I don't have as much time or don't have something and I want to break the sweat thing. Yeah. I do think the sweat barrier is kind of it. Like, I do know some people that, you know, I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth. You know, that's what I'm good at that. But you got to break a sweat. like, I don't care if it's walking fast, I don't care what it is, you do need to perspire a little bit. But I think that's kind of like the marker for me. If I've broken the sweat and for more than 10 minutes.
Dude, I agree 100%, because the days I feel completely fine with myself. Today's, if I don't work out and I still go to the sauna, a little fun fact, the sauna is getting your heart rate up to, equivalent of a jog, beats per minute. So you are getting a light cardio workout. And, there's actually, tons of studies on how beneficial saunas are. So it's like, I look at like a different form of my wellness in a way. And the sauna is where I think I tap more into my mind, because you are just sitting there and I'm breathing. And that's where it's more like, all right, what's going on up here? Where can I exercise the brain and my thoughts and my breathing? Where the gym is a little bit more outer body, I guess you could say, but yeah. I totally agree. I think the sweating is one of the biggest key components. And I know if you look at, the reactions your body has and what the chemical releases from sweating, it's dopamine, serotonin, it makes sense. But I agree. Yeah, I don't give a shit. Go walk, take a walk, walk your dog,
Yeah, just get some hills in there if you're already like a little bit in shape, so you'll break a sweat. Dude, but I do say
20 push-ups in your room,
Oh yeah, do 20 push-ups. I don't care who you are. You're close to breaking the sweat. If not, get to 30, and you will be.
Yeah,
especially way much as I do. I got my insurance exam this morning. 6'5.5", 270.
It's a big boy. That's a lot of weight to be pushing off the ground.
I know. I'm like, dang, I'm gonna do some body weight stuff, Let's talk, it's funny you brought up the mental thing, like of the sauna. I know a lot of people, there's probably a lot of meditation specialists out there. That's a big part of wellness. Certainly. I have never been able to get in that state, but it's funny. I think the closest I ever been is when I do have time in the sauna or the steam room. Is like, because I do get in there and I do breath work, breathe in your nose, breathe out your mouth, like breathe in and hold it as long as you can and breathe out. Some people swear by the breath work stuff, and I started to believe that there's some truth to it, because when I remember, like if you do the like 3 in the nose and then like slow out, it's all about kind of that oxygen to the brain. If between that and kind of like trying to shut my mind down a little bit, I think that's the closest I've ever been to a meditation state. But I think that's important too. With kind of, we have so many stimulants and stimulation going on with TV and the phones and just around us at all times. I think shutting it down and having some breath work that's involved there, I think can play a really big factor in that. And I do feel funny. I did that, the breathing thing, and I felt like almost like this mental buzz or something like in my brain. Like I felt like I just like shot it with oxygen. It was really, really interesting.
Breath work is something I'm really intrigued by. It's funny you bring it up, because I have a friend of mine and she's really gotten into it. I've noticed over like the last couple months, and I messaged her. I was like, yo, like, I want to learn this. I'm like, you piqued my interest, and because I've seen it, I've heard about it. It was one of those things a couple of years ago. I'm like, probably thought it was a little funky, just out of ignorance. And actually, where I go for the sauna and the ice is at a yoga studio. So they've got yoga classes and breathwork sessions. I've never been to any of them. However, I want to. But you're right. I mean, in some of my sauna sessions, they actually have someone leading it once in a while that does some breath work, where they're doing, like you said, that box breathing, like inhaling for 4 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds, I think it is. But it's that you do that 3-4 times in a row, you've altered your state of mind. I mean, you're calmer, your heartbeat's slower. I mean, it works. And that's
totally works. I mean, I'm telling you. And what's funny is this is one of those things, and I'll say this, Chris and I are not breath work experts. So what are we getting? No. What do we want you to get from this? go Google breath work and go try some of it, because it's one of those things that you pass. I think I've heard about it for like 5 years and I've gone, oh, bullshit. You know, like breathing.
I'm like, this is weirdo.
I'll breathe through
stuff.
my nose, out through my mouth, fine, whatever. But
right.
Go try. I mean, it took like 30 seconds of me like doing what it was. And I was like, holy shit, I actually feel that. Like, and so it's worth your time to try that. And like, but none of us settle down long enough. You know, like we hear things like, oh, whatever, but we don't just get in the moment and like take the time for that.
We don't even think about it. And that's where even the more I've started kind of looking into this, one of the things was like, pay attention throughout the day to how many times you're holding your breath. So like you don't even notice it. Like maybe you're walking around or you're in a group of people, and all the time, or if I'm driving and like tense, sometimes I'll notice I'm holding my breath, and it's like, you're not even aware of it. But now, like you said, even if even prime example right here, like say I'm nervous one day, it's like now I automatically know, like take a few deep breaths, but I know I've just scratched the surface. Kind of, it seems both of us could probably do a little bit more research. Maybe a good person to look at having on the show in the future is a specialist on. Yeah. But just like you, I read it and I'm like, this is some like, weirdo fruity sounding stuff. No. Like, like
it's crazy. And now I know people that say that, they literally, and I'll do it when I think about it, like in the morning. It probably equates to 1 or 2 times a week. Yeah. But I'll do it for like 2 minutes, which is probably not long enough, but like, then I feel it. Like I'm mentally,
these classes they have, actually the place I go, you end up like hallucinating. Like some of these people, you actually end up like, I think you can go so deep into it that it's releasing, different chemicals in your brain but from what I understand, people are working through, traumas and like old stuff that they haven't processed. It's like that you're actually, some people's bodies are physically moving during all of this. And that's maybe the most extreme example of breath work. But another thing that had been talked about a lot is the mouth taping during sleep. Andrew Huberman talks about all the time. We're breathing too much from our mouths during our sleep. So tape your mouth and just breathe through your nose. And apparently that, from what I've read, I've never tried it. I need to, I'd like to, just haven't really pulled the trigger on ordering some breath tape yet. But have you heard about this?
Yeah, I have. I mean, it goes to show you that not everything good, comes out of your mouth. It's like sometimes we just need to shut up. It's kind of like listen better and breathe better. It's not surprising.
Maybe it'll cut down on freaking people snoring too. I would have to imagine.
I bet it would. So let's talk about, we wouldn't be a health, wellness, and raw talk without some supplement talk. I know you're the supplement guru. I know it's Chris Supplement Guru Hansen.
Always looking for the next miracle drug, bro.
I think that's what it ultimately is, right? I'm not take a pill a pill will solve anything, but I am the experimental guy that's like, but what if?
Right. Yeah. I'm curious.
I'm curious. I'm supplement curious, definitely. Like, some people are bi-curious. I'm supplement curious.
Hey, we're on a mission.
Yeah. So, talk to me about what's in the bag, baby. Let's start with like, you've been taking them for years, non-negotiables,
like,
3 or 4 things that, and then we'll talk experimental supplementation.
The first one that pops in my mind is like Juice Plus, like any vegetable, fruit supplement. I mean, there's a million of them. Juice Plus just happened to be the one.
Fox News Juice Plus special.
Does it work?
Did you notice a difference?
100%. Yeah, definitely. I mean, and I was actually another little, Chris clinical trial. Every time I would try to get sober, or I would get sober, I would get really sick. Like my body would kind of, I guess, be clearing out and detoxing. That was when I started taking Juice Plus. I had a neighbor, God bless her, Kelly, gave me a box of Juice Plus when I went to go to treatment, started taking it, never got sick. That was my okay, this stuff works, because out of the times, this is what always happens, didn't happen. Since then, I basically take that every day. And like, I know I don't eat enough fruits and vegetables. I mean, I don't know even if you do, are we really getting the nutrients we're supposed to be nowadays with how everything's being grown? Probably not. Right. So that for just a daily where I noticed energy for sure, like energy and I'd say even clarity. Next to that, the mushroom supplement capsules I take.
Yep. I just started those.
They're from Amazon. I mean, there's a million brands out there. And I don't know, maybe we can put the link in the bios I think we take the same one, but it's 11 different mushroom blend. That also, I take that in the morning with my coffee. Noticed a massive increase in my just daily energy, vitality, focus. Still love my coffee, but I don't feel like I crash from this. I feel like it's a longer, clean, sustained type of energy. That's a non-negotiable. Not really a big pre-workout guy, anything like that. And really, I think even the mushrooms have kind of I don't feel I need it as much.
Mm-hmm. Any multivitamins or fish oil?
I do take fish oil. I'll take omega-3s. I can't speak on. I mean, I think that's healthy to take. I cannot. However, I did read yesterday that apparently America we're over using fish oils. Apparently, that a lot of us are ingesting 30% more fish oils than we should be. I don't know how. I don't think I'm that guy because I'm not eating a lot of fish.
Some people are ODing on fish oil.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Fish oil, protein, I take Transparent Labs. They've got a mass gainer that I really like. That's kind of like become my dessert. Like my when I get that sweet craving at night, which, I mean, it's insane, dude. It's like 700 calories. Like, it's disgusting. But I don't typically eat breakfast. So I figure, that's my third meal in the day. But yeah, that as far as, well, actually, the last one, ashwagandha, I really take that. That's an evening one for me, unless I'm having a real kind of crazy day where I'm feeling if I'm feeling I'm running a little hot and maybe snapping off at people, I'll take that in the daytime. But I just started another one, an ashwagandha gummy. Obviously, plug Vacay, we're working on ours. However, in the meantime, another Amazon brand, there's tons of products out there, but this one in particular is ashwagandha, L-theanine, GABA, maca root, ginger, and 5-HTP, hydroxytryptophan, which is what's in turkey that makes you sleepy. So that's become my kind of like calm nighttime blend, like maybe like around 9 o'clock when I want to like get into bed. And I can tell, and I know, and that definitely notice the difference. It definitely kind of, it doesn't make me groggy or sleepy, but where I'm like, feeling a little bit more settled in.
Yeah.
Right. The mind kind of, I'm a little more present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I take, here's on mine. I have my so first of all, here's a little tip. I do one of those trays that's daily, the Monday through Sunday.
Like Monday through Sunday.
Literally
keeps me on citizen track. Special. Yeah.
I even know when I skip a day accidentally, and I'll take it the day before, like in the morning and the day of late night. So there's a little tip, but I'd get that labeled by day. And on Sundays, I fill it up, for the week. And so that's a good tip, and it gets it done. And I keep it in the bathroom. So like the first thing I take in the morning, I'm not one of those that has sensitivity to pills. Like as far as I can eat or not eat with everything that I take. A lot of people, recommend, have a protein bar or like just something, even if it's milk or just a protein shake or something on your stomach to avoid it. But I take milk thistle. It's just a good detoxifier from anything, whether it's actually alcohol or not, like just detoxifying from anything else in the environment. I take fish oil. I do take, and I did notice because my low cholesterol, my good cholesterol was low, my bad cholesterol teetered. It wasn't like none of them were like at astronomical bad levels, but my doctor's like, you take any kind of supplement, he's like, your numbers aren't bad, but could be better. And I started taking fish oil daily, and it made, because I get blood work done, I go to an internal medicine doctor, and it immediately changed the numbers. You could like within like 30 to 60 days.
And you think that solely was
it's only difference.
So, wow.
I may started.
What kind of fish oil?
It's from one of Amazon's. Cod? No, it was just the regular, like Amazon's recommended one. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I won't give any one brand a plug because I've changed brands a few times and my numbers have stayed pretty in check. Yeah. So, one of the clinically tested, verified ones.
Sure.
Enough reviews of people on some level that don't look fake. But keeping that standard has made demonstrable difference on like my cholesterol numbers. It raises your good and it can take down your bad. And I notice both. So fish oil, these milk thistle, I do take charcoal a couple times a week. And so that's another detoxifier, but it has some other benefits as well. Is one of my standards. And then Animal Pack, which is a multivitamin. It has like 12 multivitamins in it. I take like 30 pills a day.
God,
it's
maybe you're the supplement king, bro.
But that's the multivitamin. It's the multivitamin, and I have no idea what it does. But I know, just like I do not get enough natural vitamins from the food I eat. I know that. Like I'm busy lifestyle.
And you can't. They're not in the food anymore, the vitamins and minerals.
That's probably my equivalent of the Juice Plus, but it's you've got me intrigued on the Juice Plus now. So get me sucked in on that one. But
are you on any like the beef liver, any of that whole trend?
No.
Any of that stuff? Yeah,
no,
me either.
None of that. And then that's really like the standard. I'm on the mushroom complex that is well now on Amazon. I've just started that in the last couple of weeks based on your recommendation. I felt it a couple of days, maybe a little more than others, but I think I need to let that one sink in for a few more weeks. I know I think it's doing something like on the mental side, maybe with the lion's mane or the cordyceps. But so those are like the everyday, all the time things. There's a couple of things that I'll blend in there or try. I will say, shameless plug. I'm excited that we'll be getting more down this with ashwagandha or whatever that might be on the multivitamin side with our Vacay lines as we move along. And we'll give firsthand feedback on those.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm pumped. I know it'll be a winner.
Yes. And I will say, last shameless plug before we wrap up today's episode, we did just have, and I think I've got them in this package that just came in, our Vacay CBD roll-on. It's unrelated as far as supplements go, but I'm just going to tell you. So
I was actually, I'm glad you're bringing it up.
Literally.
Because I used it last night.
Okay. All right. Well, let me go down this chain.
Yeah.
This is our packaging that just came in, so I'll hold it up for everybody that's watching the video. That's our CBD roll-on here. I tweaked my wrist at the gym probably like a month ago, and I probably needed a brace or something temporarily or whatever, but I've been using the roll-on for like over the last weekend, and noticeably the pain numbs a bit after about 5 minutes, and it lasts for about 3 to 4 hours. It's not a cure for anything, but it's definitely has pain relieving impact for sure. And so if you're looking for something that kills icy hot, there it is. Also feels good too. And you know what?
And it's all natural.
I used it on my temples. I had a little bit of a headache on Saturday. I was like, I'm gonna try it right here. It kind of pressed it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Knocked it out.
Oh yeah, dude. I messed up my shoulder in the gym, I guess Friday. So last night I was like just laying down. It was just like aching down my whole arm. And I put it on last night, dude, within, like you said, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Didn't really, I forgot I had pain.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's not like it's a cure-all, but
it is noticeable. Yeah.
And it's funny you said on your temples, because I'll actually put it on my temples and then my chest. Because I think my allergies were acting up. So I was feeling a little stuffy.
Yeah.
the menthol, the eucalyptus, it kind of, even that, like a Vicks Vapo was kind of clearing me up.
Yep. The peppermint, natural peppermint.
It gets the job done.
Yes. So
I think people will be really happy.
You can find that product at takeavacay.com, where you find all of Vacay's natural wellness products. That's all I got, Chris. Hey, we hope that helps. Some of the supplements we take, our wellness journeys and best tips and practices, things that we do, trying to make it real approachable. And you can always reach out to us at vacay.global in the DMs or on social media. Anything else you got, Chris?
No, I think that's it. Just I would encourage people to just get out there and whatever it is, just try something, get moving, whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Dancing, walking, swimming.
Yep.
Scootering, whatever.
Yep. Got to take care of yourself. We hope you do.
100%.
Find us at takeavacay.com. We'll see you next time on the Vacay Podcast.